Hello. Today we will be pitching our app Grillic. We would like to thank you all for allowing this opportunity to share our work. Before we head into our presentation, let's look at today's agenda. So today we will cover Meet the Team, our problem, our solution, our app, our API and database, SWOT analysis, marketing and advertising, financial strategy, next steps, and a thank you. Hi, my name is Nitya Thundapu. Today I worked on the authentication page and the recipe page.
All right, so hi, my name is Victoria and I worked on the main homeboard or dashboard.
Hi, my name is Shifa and I worked on the search bar. So the problem. So we all know food waste is an enormous issue throughout the world. 68% of the food wasted could have been eaten, and nearly 140 kilograms of food is wasted a year per household. And that's about 2.3 trillion tons of edible food wasted. To add to that, around 4.82 million tons of food is discarded during the processing, and millions of dollars and tons of food, like vegetables and fruits, are just a portion of the edibles that are being wasted every day. But there's a solution to all this and a way to end this mass food waste. Our solution. So we created an app, Grillic. Grillic is an application for users to buy and sell their edible produce from their local neighborhoods, serving as a way to help reduce the amounts of food wasted in store. It's essentially to be used as a digital marketplace for food. So the users will be able to post about the food that they'd want to give away. They'd be able to browse for the food that they'd like to purchase. And this app has a recipe feature, which actually promotes the use of the products to prepare and serve the dishes. This would not only have safe and sustainable production and consumption, but would also allow for getting rid of hunger by ensuring food security.
So welcome to the user login page. Here the users are able to enter their email and password, then press login. If there's a spam email or something went wrong, an error message will occur. Furthermore, the user can also retype their password in email afterwards. Now what happens if the user forgets their password? The user is able to retype their password in the provided section, as well as an email will be sent to their email address so the user can recheck and confirm this. Now what if the user made a mistake and they in fact have not actually made an account? They can access the sign-in page. Here the user can enter their email, their password, and confirm their password. Once all three steps have all been completed, we are able to see the new user in our database. So far, we have 4 test databases. We chose to use Firebase as our authentication database. This helped us to keep all of our information safe and secure while also having different ways to prevent hackers, scams, and other malicious attacks on our website. This allows us to monitor our site for better use.
So here is just like the add product page that users are greeted with after they want to add an item to the website. So basically these 3 fields are all mandatory, so users cannot just type or leave them empty. So they have an item name they can put in, a description box to describe it. So here I said just nice and crispy apples, and the item cost is just like $2 for now, but the user can always change it. And you actually cannot put any characters like any of the alphabet in there, and it only allows for just the numbers and like a decimal point. So after I changed it to like $1.50 for like just a random example value, and after you press post, an item card should show up with the description at the bottom. And then afterwards, I wanted to describe the nav bar at the top. The search function Nitya is going to show you afterwards. It's a search function to search through recipes and other item cards to see other items near you. And basically, Nitya is going to get into more detail with that one. And then if you press the home button or the Grillic logo, it'll take you back to the home page. It's just a little title card at the top. Both the sign up button in the middle of the screen, and the one at the top of the nav bar will take you to the page Nitya just showed you, which is just the sign up page and the login page, but I just said sign up in both places. And so in the middle or underneath the title card, you can see that we have the apple card we just made, and it would show you other leftovers in your area. And at the bottom is just a little Grillic newsletter for any new recipes we've added or any new cards that have been added in your area. And at the bottom, after, we're going to put our pitch in that link in the footer of our website.
This is our recipe page. So we use an API called the recipe database. On this page, all the user has to do is type in one of the ingredients that they purchase or they have too much of to encourage sustainable consumption. Here, the user has access to all the different recipes which this ingredient uses. For example, this is one of the recipes we offer. This shows what the tag is. So this is a dessert, as well as a simple to understand instructions, as well as an instructional video. This is easy to use because of the UI and UX interface, and it connects to the API, which I already mentioned, the recipe database, which has all different recipes we can use that the user has access to. The backend. For our authentication, we integrated Firebase. With Firebase, we were able to store all of our login credentials and allow the user to log in whenever. In addition, with Firebase, we are able to connect to Google Analytics and user features to enhance the backend of Grillic. Firebase also allows for our website to become more secure and stop malicious attacks. This is one of the APIs we integrated. Shifa will also explain another one of the APIs we have. This is one called the meal database, which I've already previously explained in the recipe page. We use this API to integrate different recipes as it has a function to let the users search for recipes based on their main ingredients.
Another API is to help randomly generate and download large amounts of fake data, and this was especially useful in the process of displaying the results in the search bar. So I created a custom database to display the search results once the user inputted text. So for example, if R was written, it would bring up results of recipes and produce starting with the inputted letter to help narrow down the search results for better functionality.
How we coded Grillic. To code Grillic, we combined HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and React. As a result of using a new language, React, we learned new command keys, installation processes, and functions. Although we only recently learned the software, we were able to integrate React into languages we had already had some experience in, like CSS, HTML, and JavaScript.
So again, we have a SWOT analysis. SWOT stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And the strengths of this application are it has easy communication between users discussing the selling product, and anyone can create a post for the opportunity to get rid of any food that they have left over. A weakness of our application is that it will only work if there's a stable community and active users who are constantly posting and also communicating to get overbought food. Grillic creates two main opportunities for the users. It lets the users share or give away food that could have been wasted, and it also lets users get to know the people in their community by trading food. And finally, Grillic could lead to two possible main threats. One, we said we're online scammers and hackers, but like Nitya said before, we have our database. And two, people could be pretending to have food or faking its quality and personal information of other users.
So our app targets people who would like to sell and buy produce in an environmentally efficient way. So we agreed that advertising on social media platforms like TikTok, Google, and YouTube would really help because of the fact that they're accessible to most of the population. Business cards are also another idea as to what can help establish our brand and easily deliver contact information, which is really important to clients. Flyers were another cost-effective way to spread the word about our app, and community events would be really useful for interacting with potential users and fortify the trust between developers, buyers, and sellers, because, well, it is food that we're dealing with. So displaying ads on our app would really assist in generating a large revenue, and contests and competitions of sorts would generate interest and contribute to the marketing aspect of our app.
We also chose to use three other advertising and marketing strategies: SEO, search engine optimizations. These allow for Google to present our website or Grillic in a positive light. So that allows more users to check out Grillic and thus more interface and more users. We also are planning on having a website next to explain Grillic, have new updates, new content, and overall add to our social media and online presence. Finally, we would also like to partner with like-minded businesses in the future. While traditional advertising is beneficial, by partnering with like-minded companies, it's a two-way street for both companies to advertise to a larger audience.
So our main financial strategy, we divided it up into four main categories, which are fixed and variable costs, how we would make a profit, projections and assumptions, and then lastly, it would be investors. So for the first category, we said we'd make it higher in sales or like higher in costs, which is called like a variable. And then we also said consistent costs, so like at fixed prices. And then also we would worry about startup costs. How we would make a profit, we said we could have in-app purchases, like special features for people who wanted to upgrade, like no ads, Google Play stores and Apple stores. So after we have our website, part of our next steps were to create a mobile app on the phone because it's much more convenient that way. So our next steps would be to use React Native to create the mobile version of Grillic. And for projections and assumptions, we would base it off of similar apps like Olio, which is like a competitor we found online. We were able to track projections and assumptions based off that competitor for Grillic. And lastly, for investors, as Grillic grows, we are open to investors. Investors will be able to support Grillic with funding and provide insight into our industry. So some next steps, like I said before, we wanted to introduce Grillic as an app, like a mobile app for your phone on Google Play Store or the App Store. Before we start adding any updates and limited edition features, we're going to try to convert Grillic, like our website, into like a mobile app. So it's just much more convenient for users that way. After that, we plan on growing Grillic, so adding new features and developments, so like updates, fixing any bugs, and adding just premium features. And then at the same time, we would plan on creating social media platforms and campaigns like we touched on in the previous few slides.
Thank you so much for listening to our presentation and giving us this opportunity to spread the word about Grillic and the major global pandemic about food waste. Please don't hesitate to contact us, and if you have any questions, we are free to answer. Thank you.